We've all seen the sealed only challenges. You all know how this goes. Each week I'm going to spend $40 on sealed product to build a competitive dino deck. You're watching Sealed Only Dinos.
We are back. What's up everyone, Nick from ECG, and welcome to week 3 of Sealed Only Dinos. As I said last week, I wanted to go for some hand traps, and I wanted to just go for some overall upgrades. I decided to go with Toon Chaos. I was able to find these online for $2.75 a pack for the unlimbs. We got 14 right here, so it'll be $38.50 of our budget, leaving us $11.50 for next week. The main thing I really want to open out of this is Cypher Gear Gamma and Delta. They're just a really good option for going second because you can completely negate something and destroy it. And this deck wants to go second. I don't have a lot of ways to facilitate it, so something like that would help a ton. Other things is if we happen to open Pot of Extravagance, that would be pretty sick. On the rare side of things, there's also Lithochasm, the Disaster, just a really good power card. And then along with Pot of Desires, I think would be pretty good right now. We don't have a ton on one-ofs, we're looking to run for combos, so it seems like it'd be a good fit. Without further ado, let's get into it. I've never actually opened any of these packs, nor have I seen a collector rare in person, so let's try to knock out 2 things today. Alright, starting off, we've got Gemini Ablation, Massiaro Diane, Blackluster Soldier, that's a pretty spicy card, and the first pack, oh my god! I've never seen one of these in person. That looks so awesome! Well, we got a Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End. Holy crap! My camera certainly does not do this justice. Oh, that is awesome! Well, that literally couldn't have gone better, pack 1. Nothing for our deck, but oh, let me go get a sleeve real quick. Holy shit. Okay. There we go. Oh my god, that is so gorgeous. Whew. Well, that's awesome. Alright, moving on. It's nothing for the deck, but I don't really care. That's just so cool. Okay, we got Driver. There we go. There's some nice deck support. Keeper, Gearbreed, Toon Terror, and, well, another Blackluster Soldier. So if you're going trying to go that route, I guess I'll put all those there. I need to get a bigger tripod so that I have a little more space to work with. I still just kind of can't believe that we got that right out of the first pack. That is so awesome. Let's see, another Ablation. Gamma, there we go. There's 1 copy. Another Toon Terror, huh? Well, you know what? Can't complain. Does not matter. Proglio, another BLS, Diane, Magician of Hope. Mud Dragon's pretty good if you're running a super poly package, and there's our first Pot of Desires as well. So far making good progress towards stuff we need. Okay, Proglio, BLS, Diane, Chaos Valkyria. Not a card we can run, but it is a good card. We just don't really have a good way to use, we don't have a ton of lights and stuff in our deck. Okay, we got Diane. If we only these were the ones we were looking for. Eternal Chaos and another Desires. That's nice. Because I figure I can put Desires in over some of the really clunky cards and make the deck less clunky that way. Okay, Crossover, Witch. Evocator X. I have no idea if that card's good or not, to be honest. Oh, let me reorganize that pile a little bit. Alright. have no idea how many packs we have left. Dark Flare. Let's see. Fright Firmeister. Ooh, Lithochasm. Nice. You just knock all the cards over, you know, as you do. Oh, jeez. We're definitely professional. Alright, so we're looking for what? 1 Desires and 2 Gamma at this point. Well, there's a driver. Ooh, another ultra rare Super Magic Sword of Raptinus. Ooh, and a Stardust Dragon. That card's cool. I don't think we'll be running it. I think we even have like the Stardust Spark one, which is kind of better anyway, but you know. You gotta get back to the nostalgia. Microcoder, CD, my dragon. How many packs we got left? So we got 4 packs left to get what? A Desires and 2 Gamma? Yeah. We can do it, I believe. Another driver. Man, we're getting so many driver. Also, so far looking at this, it's almost like all of the cards are on like the same tracks. Like I'm noticing like each of the rares are kind of like on the same spots. Let's see, supervise. Alright, nice. Another Gamma. We just need 1 more of those. The Desires is more of like fringe. Well, not fringe card, but it's not as important. And having 2 of them makes it a lot better. 2 Harpy. Alright, so last pack. I'm really hoping I can get the last Gamma out of here so I don't have to get more Toon Chaos. Come on. Give it to me. Alright, White Pulsar. Curse. Gearbred. Bamboozling. Another that, but that's limited. So only 2 Gamma. So we will have to come back to this set. I do have some more Toon Chaos that I got at $2.75 just in case. I mean, let's see. So if we wanted to open more right now, it's what? $11 for 4 packs? Huh. I say we try our luck. After this, we'll have 50 cents of extra budget. I kind of wanted to save it, but if it means not having to open more Toon Chaos for 1 Gamma, that would be nice. Okay, got Acid, another Lithochasm. That's not quite what we're looking for. Alright, let's see which. Well, we got Roland, that's the bad one, right? I think that's the bad one, so womp womp. I think Renown's the one that you're really looking for if you're playing for Noble Knights. Come on. Ooh, no luck. Alright, last pack for this video. Can we do it? Alright, we did it. So we don't have to open this set anymore. And a Toon Bookmark that is a bit It's a bit lower centered. And the 3rd Desires. Okay. So we blew all our extra budget, but you know what? We got the rest. We got everything we need out of this set, and we got...
Alright, and we are back. Sorry about that, my camera decided to crap out on me at the last second. Here I'm going to go over the changes to the deck and kind of my reasonings behind them. We added the 3 Gamma and the driver, the 3 Desires, and then the 1 Lithochasm. Gamma is just a really good hand trap, as we've mentioned. Desires is just a nice real draw card, and we don't really have a ton of 1-ofs that we actually care about. And Lithochasm is just a huge powerhouse for the deck, popping the babies in hand to summon from deck. As far as cuts, I cut 2 of the Tyranno Infinity. I'm pretty happy to do that. I also cut 1 of the Petite Pteranodons. I thought about running 3 Petite and no Infinity, but I decided to go with the 2 and 1 just to give myself the option. I don't really want to draw this card anyway, so they're both kind of bricky in that sense. So I decided to leave 1 of these in. It can still be pretty good to like banish 4 with Miscellaneousaurus to get like a 4K beater. As far as other cuts to the deck, I finally got to cut the Megalo Smasher Unexpected Die package. Never never been so happy to cut a card in my life. That package just didn't really do a ton. Like, it had to be the first thing you did to get it out, and it just wasn't really worth it at that point. I haven't actually changed it in here, but I should change Lanvarinkus for area, but I probably won't get to that. You know, us being all professional and whatnot. And there was one more card. What did I cut? I cut the 2 of these, the 1 of that, so 3. Oh yeah, so 3, 5, and 8. So those are the cuts for the deck. Nothing changed in the side deck, and that should change in the extra deck, but probably not going to get to it. Going into the gameplay, I'm really hoping the hand traps pick up a lot of the pace, like we can interact with them, and then we can make like a UCT behind it and just kind of wreck their board. So that'll be it for this. Let's get on to the gameplay. Alright, and we are here at round 1. We decided to go second in this game. Again, we were trying to blind second in these games. We went up against Tri-Brigade Samorg. An interesting deck to say the least. He didn't end up doing much. He just summoned a barrier, a Statue of the Stormwinds. We ended up in setting 1. We popped the back row with Twin Twister, attacked with Soul Eating Overraptor. He then summoned us some Morgue Bird Protection, which we attacked over Miscellaneous. He apparently bricked really hard, and that was where we went from there. Game 2, we draw like 3 hand traps and no action. He ends up going for some more Abortive Brain to go for the search. We end up, I believe, yeah, we Ash Blossomed that. And then from there, right, he had the Fractal. He revealed Fractal, which sends 1 from deck to grave. So then he ended up dumping Nerval to then search. Although, let me see there. There we go. So then we went to search for Nerval, but we gammed the Nerval effect, and then we ended up drawing Overraptor into Miscellaneousaurus, attacking over the Simordburger Breeding, setting our 2 back row. He goes for Normal Summon into second Normal Summon for Phoenix, but we Veiler the Phoenix. He ends up attacking over Overraptor, and then we end up banishing 2 for Petite Pteranodon to then go get into Pinkertops. Ended up misclicking there. From there, he went to use Borg of Bringing, but we called by the grave the 1 engraved to negate the effect on board. Then he goes and searches for Kairos with Nerval using Fractal. He ends up in Samorg Bird of Sovereignty and Apex Avian. We end up attacking over with the Pinkertops, but then he gets the field spell, attacks for like 42 here, plus a little 100 over, because we can't target any of this. We end up losing that game. Going into game 3, we get to go second, which is, again, where we want to be. We draw Gamma and Driver, which kind of sucks, but he goes to normal summon this, and we just Gamma it immediately. Overraptor searches Misk, attack for 18. He then goes to Lightning Storm, which I figured at that point he's pretty desperate if he's going to be Lightning Storming just that. So we summon Miscellaneous and attack for 18. He goes to Reborn something, but we DD Crow it. And then he makes like a Linkuriboh, and then we attack with 2 Miscellaneousaurus, and then make Tornado Dragon, which, again, don't know how overlays work in here. So we end up popping some back row, and then we activate Desires to banish 10. Didn't realize there was a banish 10 button at the time. Search for UCT, and then we go to banish, attack, and then he uses the Linkuriboh effect, but again, we still attack for lethal. So that match went to us 2-1, so nice. He then proceeded to show all the bricks in his hand. Round 2, we were up against Prank Kids. This one also, we actually ended up getting 2-0. Was really happy about that. He goes for Prank Kids Prank, searches the Roxy's, normals Roxy's in here, into Meow Meow. We ended up gammaing the Roxy's, and he didn't really have any follow-up. We Twin Twisters his back row, we go for Desires, and then proceed to draw 2, which we already had the Falsidig, so we had Overraptor with that. He revealed he had a bunch of fusions in hand. Though I've noticed playing Prank Kids myself that if that first interaction gets interrupted, like if the Gamma or something, it's really hard for you to go off. He then goes for normal Prank Kids plays, goes into Diddle Diddle Do, into Dropsies, searches Pandemonium, then adds Lampsies back to hand and Roxy's, sets the Pandemonium. We go Lost World, he uses Artifact Lancia, then uses Pandemonium to go into Butler. He still gets the token. We search Misk. He then proceeds to summon the 3 from deck from the Pandemonium. We end up kaijuing that. I assume he thought we had way more going on than we did, because I'm assuming he thought I had like Ultimate Conductor or something to just attack over all this. To be honest, I was in big trouble, but he decided to leave and quit. Alright, so then round 3, we were up against a personal favorite of mine, Anti-Meta, or Stun, or Control. Very friendly guy, I must say. We drew the nuts because we drew Lost World, Fossil Dig, and Lithochasm. He ends up going for Banished Order units. We had a Twin Twister for his back row, and then we had the Fossil Dig to search the Oviraptor. We don't remember, yeah, we ended up giving him the token and then attacking over. He had opted to put the Moon Mirror Shield on the top of his deck, and then we summoned True King Lithochasm, got to banish 3 cards from his extra deck, and then we searched the Baby Saros, or no, we summoned Baby Sarosaurus, and we went to like Bomber Dragon with that and Pinkertops. This kind of shows where our extra deck's really lacking at the moment, because we didn't really have a lot to go in that could really punish him, and I ended up having to just play around this a bunch. He goes to Crackdown, but we chain the effect anyway, and then he goes to try to Judgment like a Misk summoning Oviraptor, but that doesn't work. So he ends up resetting it, and then I searched with the Oviraptor Misk and then pitch it to Twin Twisters. I ended up rolling since I knew one of them was a Judgment. So we ended up destroying those. The last card was a Mirror Force, which kind of sucked. Good thing our pink was in defense. And we ended up popping one with that. We ended up taking that game just because he didn't have anything left. He was at like 2,000, and this game we opened Twin Twisters and Cosmic, so feeling pretty good about it. He ends up searching Fossil Dyna, or no, yeah, adding Fossil Dyna to hand and summoning Fossil Dyna with Moon Mirror Shield. Our opponent probably did not like the fact that we were on main decking 3 Twin Twisters. He did Judgment that, but then we used the Terraforming to search Lost World, and then we used Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of this, and he can't get it back because it's banished. We attack over for an amount with Lost World. I kept forgetting this game that Lost World exists. That's why if you ever see my monster go to the grave, even though I shouldn't have, he uses the Phantom Knights to give like 800 attack, but it still wasn't enough. He ends up ending on Ryo and Fossil Dyna. He had a Mirror Force, but I think here I took like what was it? Like 1900 damage or something like that. Or no, 2100 damage. We ended up using another Desires. Our second Twin Twister came in clutch. We attacked over the Fossil Dyna. He ends up going to defense. We attack over with a Petit Pteranodon, so the true disrespect here. And then attack on Miscellaneous. He was hoping for Desires to bail him out, but Ash Blossom said no to that. So we ended up taking that match. So 3-0 this week. Really excited about that. More importantly, I'm excited that they were all 3 matches. There were some things I noticed. First off, Gamma was amazing. Desires also really helped. It helped us dig through the deck. There weren't as many bricks. We didn't make a ton of like explosive plays, but even just getting to like make some summons on the back of disrupting our opponent with Gamma was really helpful. I'm going to have a section at the end here where I'm kind of going where I want to take the deck and where I see it going forward, and also concerns about like the ban list and whatnot. Alright, so looking at the deck and looking at the gameplay, there are 2 things at this point that really stick out to me with this deck. The first is that we really don't have a side deck. We have a lot of individual cards, but we can never really board in like more than 3 cards for a matchup, and like this card's good, but there's a lot of really questionable choices in here. Like realistically, these really shouldn't be in the deck. I just don't have any other options at the moment. The other big one is we don't really have like a lot of combo potential. Like if we draw Lost World Ovi right now, it's pretty good. We can end on like a Deco Talker and a UCT, but like that's not a particularly good going first board. Going second, then it's okay, but if they have a lot of like interruptions, then like one interruption in that and we're just kind of done. Granted, Miscellaneous Swords helps with that a lot, but there's only so much that I can do. So going forward, 2 things. One, I really want to work on the side deck. I feel like if we can disrupt our opponents enough, it doesn't take a lot for this deck to just kind of beat over. Like, especially like in that Prank Kids matchup, like if we had just had a UCT, the game you scooped, we would have actually, like, that was what he assumed, and we would have just wrecked that game. So just having more ways to disrupt so that they don't end on much of a board and then we can clean it up. But I do also want to work on the power level of the deck, especially with stuff like Double Evolution Pill, now that we have some nice hand traps. This one's going to be really fun. The main thing is the sets, Battles, Legend, Lights, Revenge, and Dual Overload aren't the easiest to get in hand. Another one from Battles of Legend is going to be Giant Rex. So assuming the ban list doesn't hit us too hard, I really want to look into getting some of this set, because this card is a really nice combo piece to work on. And you can do some really cool stuff, like later on in the combo is like, if you have like Lost World, Overraptor, you can unlink a Link 2, Dulka, and then a Pankrotop, so you have like 2 effect negations, and a Pank, which is like a free pop, which that's really nice, especially because like this deck does want to go second, but there's going to be times it's going to have to go first, and just having stuff like that is really helpful. And the last one is this boy. If we can get our hands on one of these, that would help a ton once we got the Double Evolution Pill. But I want to wait a bit on this, just because that's really the only thing we need out of that set. So I'm probably going to open up some Battles of Legends at some point. That is assuming the ban list doesn't hit too hard, and that was something else I wanted to talk about. So we all know this deck's probably getting hit on the ban list. Rip Aroni. It really depends on how they hit it if I'm going to keep with like the Dino engine, because we are picking up stuff from other cores. And lately, like, I've been focusing a lot on like staples, and that was kind of intentional. Like, this can go into most decks, this can go into pretty much any deck. The hand traps are just good for any deck. So like this part of the deck could change if it had to. If they just limit Miscellaneous Source, I still think this is a pretty good deck. Like, yes, you can interact with it more, but like a lot of your same combos still kind of exist. So I would still run it at that point. I definitely would cut the Desires at that point, but eventually I need to cut this anyway. As far as like if they went a little more drastic, like let's say if they limited or banned Overraptor, this deck's just dead. Like all your combos revolve around it. It's your main search piece. It's also your main extender with Lost World. This not existing would just kind of kill the deck. If they hit something like Fossil Dig, it would hurt, but we might be able to make do. If they hit both, then again, this deck's just dead. If they ban Miscellaneous Source, then I probably need to look at a different, different deck engine. Things you could do for that, if I could pick up the Shadal deck, then like I could fit a lot of this into it. Unfortunately, that deck's really kind of like, a lot of the pieces for that deck are just from that deck, and it's kind of boring. Like, we don't have a Cross Sheep, or like an Appaloosa, but that deck's just kind of boring in my opinion. So if you all have any ideas of if this engine gets killed, what we want to transition to, leave a comment down below. Also, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and pray to God that I can talk in future future videos. Jesus. It's late. It's fourth quarter for retail. It sucks. But other than that, I will see you next week. Next week won't be the most exciting opening. There might be like a couple packs involved. But again, I'm really going to focus on getting some staples. Especially in the hands of like, we can move some of this to the side deck if we can get some stuff included. And maybe finishing out some of these playsets. Looking at you, Valor. So with that, you all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you later.